How does a blended learning classroom differentiate from a regular classroom?
One of the many purposes really is to teach kids self-advocacy, which means they take ownership of their learning. So it differs in lots of ways. One is the kid, again, takes ownership. They do that because the room should be set up differently. There are different models of blended learning, but one of the one that we're working on on our campus is to build stations. So the way it should look is you have one station where kids are just learning. They're interacting with the lesson and the materials, and then there's another station where the kid is receiving tutoring with the teacher, either in small group or one-on-one. And then there's another station where the kid may be interacting with the material or with their with their peers, and so you get into a model of like peer tutoring.
How does blended learning benefit you as a teacher?
It frees me up to work with students who are struggling. Blended learning makes me free to go from group to group and do more small group work as opposed to like a whole group and work with just a whole group as like all the kids at once, and I miss people when I do that. So blended learning gives me that opportunity to not miss people.
Where's Corina? 2P5? 3P5. Over here. Okay? So how many valence electrons does chlorine have?
7.
Okay.
How are your students grasping the information while using blended learning?
They are able to learn in different ways. So whether it's a video of me teaching, and if they don't quite grasp the concept there, then there will be another option, maybe like a Quizlet or an Ed puzzle, or maybe an actual like a podcast of me showing how I did it with just my voice. So there's different ways that they can learn it, and if one way it doesn't help them, then there's all of them together. Okay.
Do you prefer this teaching style or the traditional teaching style?
Oh, this one. Absolutely this one. From a content delivery perspective, they get so much more. From a learning styles perspective, I can differentiate so much greater using technology. From their perspective, they're much more engaged because your generation has grown up with electronics. My generation had to learn how to use it, learn how to adapt to it. So for you all, that's just how you learn. So for us to just stand and give you a book and say, read the book, we can't expect you to be ready for the 21st century job using 20th century methods. It's simple. So for me, I'm blessed to be able to have the pilot to use it. I love it. It's been a game changer.
Basically, they break in, they steal all the stuff, and they just destroy the house because they were upset at his policies. The next thing, non-importation.
Do you think other schools should use blended learning?
I do. Our goal is to eventually go full-blown across the building. Every classroom that you walk into has some level of blended learning, of the blended learning model. I think it's relevant because this is a life that you live. I mean, I'm looking at you guys, you walked in and you have, among the three of you, you have about 5 or 6 devices, right? Your life is electronic. And so I think if we want to help you become better adults and think critically about the world around you and the information that you get so that you can become great citizens. I mean, whether you're voting or deciding what you're going to eat for dinner or whatever the case may be, which route you want to go when you get to college and beyond, then we have to teach you how to think, not necessarily just give you information. And I can't imagine that there's a kid in America that couldn't benefit from a blended learning model.